Great, thank you. Borrow a piece of paper from somebody and just, can you put your name and your, again, please, if you don't mind? Those who are here. Today with the email stuff for those who were in that. Not too bad. Yeah, it'll, when you have to be in there first to really learn it. I get that.
I'm interested to see matchup compared to.
Definitely more to it, so it's definitely. And today we're only doing, we're having an hour session, so it's more like an overview. And again, I have a recording that I can send out for you guys. At least this will give you get you a little familiar with the overall functionality. And to dig in, and I think it's just one of those things where you're ready, you need to look at the long training and then for it. Right. So.
Actual stuff, or is it just a video training?
We're talking about that now. Right now it's just a webinar training, but we're talking about trying to get something documented.
Yeah.
That was really helpful with Connect, I have to admit.
Yeah.
Especially somebody who's really not technology savvy. That as almost time for the first
pull it
me doing stuff in Connect, I would always pull that out.
Yes.
Just because.
Yeah.
Even if it just was a safety blanket. Anyway, I found it pretty helpful.
This is Kim.
Yes, ma'am.
Does iModules have service of writing a training doc for companies?
Not. What we really do is send folks to our help site, which has all of the information that I train on, plus some. So we've got tips and tricks. We've got information from all parts of modules, so anywhere from application support to professional services, product. So showing you the help site, all the information that you can get there. So as you're working through the tools, you're building out your events or emails or whichever portion you're working on. If you go to the help site, there is a search, and the topics are broken out into smaller, more specific topics. I actually showed that at the beginning of this session.
Okay. Thanks. So I think we started. This is definitely a full program today. This is the training for iModules. Realize that this will need an in-depth training, and as I do have with the email, I do have a more in-depth 2.5-hour recorded training that Crystal Hickey, who's going to do our training today from iModules, that I'll distribute. That's the other thing is, you guys, when you got us here, you won't access right away. We are still putting some final touches on our event side. We'll be doing some testing this week with the staff members, and if all goes well, probably within the next 2 weeks, then we'll be opening the gates, if you will. To remember is coming back from holiday break in January. The goal is to be completely in iModules. We will not be in Cornell Connect. Remembering, if you were in yesterday's session, so that means if there's any language, anything that you want in Cornell Connect today, forward, please copy that out or just, do a screenshot you feel comfortable with, but make sure you gather that information because of January. Cornell Connect will be completely down and you won't have access to it. Okay, Crystal, I'm going to turn it over to you, and we'll get started. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Well, good morning, everyone. And for those of you who were not on the call yesterday, my name is Crystal Hickey. I'm a trainer here at iModules, and we will be covering events today. Now, this is going to be a very high-level reader's version of events, as we only do have an hour. So I will be walking you through how to clone one of the events that have already been built out for you on your site, show you the best practices, have a new field, also show you a cloning checklist, which I believe, Kim, you have your own checklist going, adding to a checklist there. Is that correct?
We don't really have one, but we do have the template, so we're just having everybody really work from the 3 templates, actually.
Okay.
But probably at the end of the day, we'll have a checklist developed, and everybody's might be a little different because for events management, who will be using this as well, things and certain other people. But so yes,
okay.
Something will be developed,
Excellent.
but we don't have anything right yet.
All right. Good, good. So first off, as we get started, I'm going to move over to your site, and where we will be working is under Events and Events Home. Site, in the right-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see a question mark icon, and you can click on the On Help link for our help site. And this is a helpful site, which is, it cracks me up to say that, but we've gone to a help site that didn't help you in the least. It was very hard to navigate. Ours is pretty awesome, I have to say. It's pretty easy to navigate. We have all of the topics over on the left. You can expand to see all of the additional topics you can go to. You can also search this page or this site. As you found this main page, this home page, there's also a link to the training session. Oh, is it? Training sessions link will take you to the area where you can sign up for and attend any of our online training modulars. So they're webinars. Do need some additional training on anything that I've covered in the last 2 days, you can sign up for and attend any of those. Now, if dates and times are going to work for you, paragraph here, there's a link to see all of our recorded modulars. So you can watch them in your time, you can pause, you can work along with them. And this also tells you what each modular covers. They're all 30 to 40 minutes, so short chunks of content instead of a full hour and a half or 2 hours, however long. We're covering today, so you'll notice all of the things that are generally covered in events. We're kind of smashing it until about an hour. We did need some additional help on some of the more basics, like your form properties. You may want to go and watch your Foundations 200 module. So we do have this resource available for you here, and you can use it as many times as you would like. Now I'm going to go to our help site. On that, we do have just front and center choosing the right event type. Now, most of you will be working from a template. You will have some pre-built templates in there available for you to use, but we do have choosing the right event type, a flow chart that you can walk through for events. So if you do a question on the type of event, now drill into the events area.
Hey, Crystal, this is Kim. Hello? Everybody on call in, please put their phone on mute. There's a lot of static.
Almost.
I know, right? Hello? Anybody on the phone, can you please put your phone on mute? There's a lot of static.
Thank you, thank you. Now, again, once you drill into any of your events topics, you embedded video tutorials, so short 2, 3, 4-minute videos embedded in the topics. You have tips and tricks over here on the right, which also corresponds to our tips and tricks down here on the left. We will be focusing on the cloning checklist as we build our event today. Now, before I open this up, I do want to let you know that any topic you open up is able to export to a PDF or a Word document. So this may help you since we're not able to write a guide for you. That in-hand documentation, just as you're starting out, you can export this information to maybe a PDF document so you can print it out and highlight and just have it when you need it. I don't recommend keeping this forever because we do update our information on a regular basis, but you do have the ability to export this information any time. All right. Get to your cloning checklist. You can either drill into any of these topics under events or here at the bottom under tips and tricks. Check into these, email yesterday, events today, cloning. Excuse me. Now, this gives you all of the pieces of your cloning checklist. You can also download a PDF version of that checklist. If you do this one to your desktop, download and print it off. That way you can check off these items as you clone that template. These are very important items. That way when you're cloning an event, you're not accidentally sending out a confirmation email with a title or a generic date on it. So this walks step by step all of the items that you need to keep an eye on. And then however your browser has you do that. Here. Okay. To your site, event home screen. Excuse me. Now, this page will show you all of the events that have been created for your community. Event name, the start date and end date, total registrations, total if you are collecting fees or any commerce items, total sold, whether or not your event is active. When over, I recommend a gear icon deactivating your event. This ensures that even if someone has a link directly into your event, they can no longer register for it. Oh, my computer does not restart while we are on the phone here. Right. Icon will give you some additional items that you can use when managing your events, such as editing the properties. You can manage your attendee list, how that looks, how the admin side looks. We do have a reporting feature as well. I'll show you, if time, I'll show you a high level of the reports that we have a lot of canned reports. It's very dynamic. Importing, you can see everyone who has registered for the event. We activate and delete. If you delete an event, it will delete all of the reporting that goes along with it. That's one thing to keep in mind. So only delete an event if you are absolutely positive that you no longer need any of the reporting that goes along with it. I'm going to create a new event using this button here, or under Events, you can create a new event using the drop-down. A new event, I recommend toggle advanced mode. When you toggle advanced mode, this gives you your audience feature, so who can see your event. So what you're allowing everyone access, you're getting more granular with it. So only board members can see this event, or only alums. Event name. listing, so where it's going to live. Now, this won't really apply to you. You're not using listings out on your website or in email marketing right now. If you'd like to know more about that, I do recommend the help site or one of our videos. Custom builder on your site that allows you to create custom URLs, so those shortened URLs for your users. That way you don't have to give them that long URL. This will be for print publications. There's a way to give your events a custom URL. This will send them directly to a detail page, so like a flyer page with a register button. To you which one you're using. I do recommend going by whatever your business practice is going to be. Remember, are you all utilizing Identity Checkpoint?
For events, you don't have to cover it today. I'm actually going to do some session work with everybody else on that.
And for right now, are you having people mark it?
Oh, sure. So what this is, quick like this is just a pop-up that lets the individuals identify themselves. iModules has a feature that Harris Connect and not have, which is either a member or you're a non-member, and keep the non-members to the lowest possibility possible, and keep our system clean, if you will. We'll merge or make decisions about those non-members. Either we merge them into a member record, or we'll delete them if we choose to. Moving so there's some decisions around that we have to make. So right now I would leave that off until we have more conversations, and I will advise when we should turn it on and start using it. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Kim. Okay, I'll leave this blank right now. We do have some defaults checked in your box series here. Saving the form data if a non-member does not complete your form. If you need a record of anyone who stops halfway through your form and does not complete it, then you'll deselect that box. This will show you your incompletes. Displaying breadcrumb trails, so how many steps are within your form, or how many pages they have to go through. Pre-populate, I do recommend turning pre-populate on so you can email out a link to your form, so an action item. When they click on that link, it will pre-populate their profile data for them, and it pseudo-logs them in. It's another non-member management feature. So recommend marking pre-populate. You have your audience features. Who is allowed to see your event and register? So we have display audience. This is your detail page. And your form audience who can actually get in and register for your event. Now, I do want to let you know with form audience, the default is to ask the unregistered users to create a non-member account before continuing. The more user-friendly option is the radio button. This is direct access into the form. The top one will take them to a login page, even if they're not members of your community. The second one takes them to the form, and our system creates a non-member record for them. Including events on the template list. If you feel like your event needs to be a template to be cloned later, you want to reach out to Kim or whoever's managing events at the time. Date for your actual event. Let's say my day. You can start time and an end time for your event as well. And so we give you at the top hour, you can adjust it in the time box. Time zone will default to the time zone on your computer. We have display range. So if you did have a listing out in email marketing, so you sent an email that had a list of all of your events, all of your active events, this the system know when you want it to start showing in that list. If you right now, You do not have to upload an image. A brand new event, we're going to scroll down and an existing event template. So it's created for you, and these templates are created using these 4 different types of events. We do have a form-driven, activity-driven, and simple RSVP. So it just depends on the type of event that you would like. Now, all of these types are explained here with a little bit of verbiage, as well as out there on our help site. And I'd show you that flow chart, and that really breaks it down in a nice way. Scroll all the way down and use an existing event template. And I'm going to use the single day template. Single day. The rest of the decisions for you, and it drops you into the form with all fields already added to your event. Now, at the top, you do have a message. This form was created from a template and it has not yet been verified. If you are sure of the form settings, click here to verify. So what I recommend is that you go through your cloning checklist and then verify your form. This to make sure that you are making those changes before you start your event. Otherwise, if you click here to verify, this message goes away, and there's nothing else prompting you to make any changes, to edit the title, go into any other properties. It looks like we have a nice event. It looks like we could potentially just launch this event. However, we go look at the different items. So title, start date and date, display if needed, information. I'm going to show you where to edit these different items. First items here. The title, start date and end dates, displays and registration dates, and the text for a listing and detail page. So the information that goes on your detail page. These first 4 items of your cloning checklist can be accessed under Content Properties. Verify the title of your event, additional options. You can also, again, toggle advanced mode to make sure your audience is correct, and it should be the audience we set before. We have a start date and end date of our event that we set before, so that's good. We have an activity-driven event. Now, event type can be changed as long as nobody has registered. However, we are working from a template, so we're going to leave this the way it is. The registration settings. So when does the register button appear on the detail page? Now I'll show you the detail page here in just a moment, but there is a register button. Now I'd like to show people the detail page for maybe a couple of weeks to advertise your event first, and then have the registration button appear. That's put a later date in here. Otherwise, you can leave it blank potentially if you'd like it to start showing today. Best features and the registration limits. An attendee list or not. Are they adding commerce identifiers to these events?
At some point, but because of the way the security is set up in iModules, it's looking like we will have individuals identified that will be able to connect their appropriate commerce to the all the commerce lives in one big long list, including giving forms. We'll probably be locking it down, if you will, more so than what we have today in Harris. Crystal, and this is a plug, iModules can really get some more detailed security that we are really anxious to have them.
Sure. Yeah, like more granularized admin rights, that sort of a thing.
Correct.
We are working on it actually, so that's on our timeline. So on that, hopefully soon. Right here, I'll click Save to the next page, and we give you some instructional text. This event preview in the event information section. So if you were to use a listing, so send out an email with a list of events, and it's a dynamic list, it shows you the most current events happening. This is some teaser text below the link to your event. Now, what I'm talking about, because some of you have no idea, I've never seen this before. I'll give you a quick example here. Quick, my internet is moving like molasses today. So this is an event listing. I've got a link to my event. This is that teaser text I was talking about. So if you were to have an event listing somewhere, this is your event description. This is the D page. So you repeat the information on this page. Again, that's why the cloning checklist is such a good idea, because if you forget this, then your detail page is published with this information in it because it was cloned. Your detail page, you can also have contact 1 and contact 2 if you would like. Location information where you can embed maybe a Google map if you would like as well. Now, a detail page is going to look similar to faster, lightning quick. There we go. Similar to this with the title of your event and information about your event. There's my contact 1, contact 2, date and location. A register button. Okay. So if I had that information or updated that information, you can click next or save at the bottom, and it drops you back into your form. List, you'll also view and edit or review the finished pages as well as the member and admin confirmation emails. Now both of those are under Manage Form, Review, and then the member confirmation email and admin confirmation email. So all of these, again, very important to go in and at least take a look to make sure we're not sending information out that old event name or old dates on it. This one's pretty generic, which is excellent. So if you did happen to forget this one, it's okay. But with the review page and page, member confirmation email, with to change who it's from, because right now it's from Chris Anderson at iModules. So you want to make sure it's from someone, probably at Cornell. You control the subject line as the text in the email. Confirmation email. Now on that cloning checklist, your step names needed. Now right now my steps are registrant, guests, and activities. Did need to edit my step names. I can, under Form, edit step settings. And I can change my step title. I can optional text if I would like. And each step, so you would use your tabs to navigate. So managing your step title. Names if needed. So your categories, these are going to be your gray bars here. So additional categories that exist. Let me see, there's only one. Looks like this. But if you want to change the category name, you could do that. Editing pencil right next to it, I just click it and change the name. And then the last 4 items on this this checklist are very field specific. Of any fields or commerce items if needed or desired, changing your field names if needed, reapply form roles. We're not going to get into roles today. That would take up at least the rest of the time, and add any unique fields if needed. So we're going to talk about how to edit those existing fields as well as to add new fields. I'm also going to talk best practices. Now you have some fields that will probably be what we refer as reusable instanced fields. Now, reusable instanced fields will always appear on the reconciliation report. And those that you do not want to edit the field name or the export column header name. Now, if there are fields that appeared on your form that you need, remove any of those fields. Let the dietary restrictions for my event. It's not doing a dinner or any sort of food at my event. I can remove that field. The field. It lets me know that this field also exists on other forms, and if I delete it from the entire system, it will be removed from all of those other forms as well. Now, once you launch and you start actually running your events, you'll also see a message that lets you know there's data associated with this field. And if you delete the field from the entire system, it will delete all of that data as well. So only remove it from this form, not the entire system. Now, because this is still fine, I'm not affecting the template in any way. I'm only editing my event here. I didn't need to rename a field. Most though. I think you have, here we go, name tag first name. For what reason, let's say I wanted to call this something different. Instead of name tag, just nickname. Maybe I wanted this to be nickname. Now, I edit the field here. It is only changing how this field looks on my form. I do not want to go in and edit the field to change any of the values of that field, such as the field name or any of those advanced features. The reason why is because this field will show up in reporting on all of those forms, and if I were to change the export column head name, it's everywhere. So this is to maintain data integrity. So if I did need to change this to nickname, you will only in the actual form itself. So the editing pencil is, change it to nickname.
So Chris, make a few comments around this. I believe that we've changed all so people can't get to that now if they go into the edit function. If for whatever reason when you have access, if you do particularly need access to this area, it's not just events. I mean, these export column headers impact our class dues, our online giving. It is, again, the system is wonderful because it's so open and flexible, but then there are all the I'll call it the scariness of the open inspection. You really don't
Yeah.
understand what they're touching. So please, if you're not sure, ask me, absolutely you can, or others. But I think you have that pretty much chain access perspective. Thank you.
Good. Oh, good. Let me make sure. So we're not roles, so adding any additional fields if needed. Now, if any fields under manage category, I could or add existing fields. Now, you always add existing fields first. You always want to see if that field that you need exists in the system already. We don't want you to add brand new fields if, let's say, they already exist on the profile. If they exist on the profile, we need to be able to go into your event, and when they give you information, it updates their profile. So you want to add any existing fields first, and then whatever fields that we do not have, you'll add new fields. For existing fields, we have a quick field list, and this will give you any fields from the profile as well as orphaned fields. Search with this area just to show that it will filter for you. You can drill into the profile to find that you need. Oh, it's thinking. Oh, no, just decided not to do anything. Okay. Now, when you go into the profile, don't be tricked by the one that says profile. You want the one that says update my info. That's the actual profile form. Update my info. So I'll drill in a little bit more. Go into whichever category you need. Education information. I'll ask. So you'll select the field that you need. You drill into any other forms out there, and we have a reusable fields folder, and this shows you all of the reusable fields we have for events. So these are all of the fields that were created to be used on any event out there. Now, all of these fields will show up on the reconciliation report, and all of these fields are blank each time someone sees them. So we have a new reporting instance for each time they submit the form. So, well, evening phone. Well, anytime phone, and you can reorganize these. And so we'll when you they will show up at the bottom of your form. You can dragging using the green four-headed arrow. So under category, have a sort field option where you can click any of these items around. Well, you can add new field. Add field. When you field, you will give your field a name. Field names are very important. You make sure that you are working with powers that be there for name conventions. Each field name has to be unique, and you want your fields to be question 1, question 2. That way, you'll use them in the future, especially if you need to use a field on multiple forms. Personally, the way I like to name mine is using the event as well as a year or some sort of a date and what my field does. Now, on the help site, we do have some field naming conventions or field naming suggestions out there. It is under tips and tricks, I believe. So we do have some ideas out there. But again, if you have some best practices on site there, I do recommend that you keep those in mind. Code. Now here, I just used an underscore. Now your display name, this is what your registrants will see. Options, you can move into the advanced options area by clicking on this checkbox. You will not see system alias. I'm actually logged in with a admin right than yours, but you have these additional options here. Now, the one that you may be looking at is the export column header name. That's the only one really that you may edit. It will take on the name of your event as well as the name of. So if you want your export column header name to be quite that long or have that title, you can add that. So depending on your naming convention again, if you need to create a token out of this field, you can utilize this token name option. You have a feature for your fields and data type. So you're choosing what type of field you are creating. Now, if any questions about the types of fields that we have provided for this dropdown, this question mark icon over to the right is pretty amazing. So when you open that up, it gives you an explanation for each one of those field types in that dropdown. So this is to learn that a text box is a 99 character limit and a text area is a 2 billion character limit. And we just run the limits of Excel at that point. Box here. Down list, but before you notice that you can add promotion codes if you do have any sort of an event with a fee. So just keep in mind, fee or a commerce item. So do a drop-down list. Changed, and I'll need to add my field option display name. So basically the answers they have to choose from. So friend, pigeon. All right. Now, customized database values. This allows you to edit how these answers will look in your reporting. So if I just wanted I for event, F for friend, AE for alumni event, and CP for carrier pigeon, I could do that. Think of this kind of like your state drop-down box. So what your registrant sees, they see the entire state name, whereas in your reporting you get the abbreviations. We give the ability to have a please choose placeholder. This will put please choose in that drop-down before they make their choice. We recommend that you keep something here, otherwise everyone has selected that first option until they make any other choice. Storage mode. So it depends on the type of field that you are creating, whether you would like a normal field, instant, or reusable instance. Normal fields, as the system recognizes who this person is, even that individual sees this field, it will pre-populate with their prior answer. this one will always hold on to their answer. It is normal data storage. Now, an example of those would be their profile fields, first name, last name, address information. So if they tell us that they live in New York, they always live in New York until they tell us they live in California. And they always live in California. Instanced fields. This field blank, and they have to answer this field each time. So we have a new reporting instance. We don't keep the answer pre-populated. We know that last event they went to, they heard about it on the internet. The next event, they heard about it from a friend. The event after that, also internet. So instanced field, those are great if you need a new reporting instance. Each answer that question, like an in honor of or an in memory of field. I would like to make my gift in honor of my grandfather. You don't want that to pre-populate. Each time they see that field, you don't want the name there. If I'm reading a field that needs to be utilized on multiple event forms, I can make a usable instanced field. That when I create one, how did you hear about this event field, be reused on all of your other events. Now, as instanced fields, keep in mind that all instanced fields will appear on your reconciliation report. So keep standpoint that you don't need how did you hear about this event field. You want to make one reusable instance field and all of your other events. So which can you use more than once? On data storage mode, there is information out there on the help site, and we do explain it as well in our modular training sessions. Instanced field, and just because of me, there we go. Now when you verify your database values, even if you didn't make a change, select my form. Brand new fields, if you were going in, if you're practicing, creating a new event, or if you realize you don't need your event anymore, or if you created a new field that you know you'll never use, make sure you delete your brand new fields before you delete your forms. Delete this form out of your system, and I did not delete this brand new field, then this junky training field will all in your system until someone adds it to their form to remove it from the whole system. So as far as data cleanup and field cleanup, if you were removing an entire form, removing any original fields first. I'm going to move over to my activity step. That have been for you, one that has a fee, a ticket added, and it's free. So one program fee and one is a campus tour. Now, if you don't need one of these, under category, you can remove category. Activity settings. So even though they look like regular categories, they're a little bit different because they are activities. Manage category, activity settings. This is where for your activity, including some roles, you can see the start date and end date, as well as start time and end time. in mind fields to these activities. Being some sort of a commerce field or a ticketed item with this activity, I can then hover over the field and edit. Editing the field name or any of these advanced options, you'll select Next at the bottom. You can edit the types of tickets or commerce items available. So by default, you have Young Alumni Ticket and General Admission. If you need to go in and just edit that information, you can edit. You can change what you are doing or what type of tickets are available. So this could be adult, and then you change the price, or it could be a speaker series or balcony and floor level, whatever you would like it to be. You can add an overall limit, so how many are available. You can put date restrict, so pricing, last chance pricing, sale pricing if you would like, and role-based certain prices. So you can additional fees. So on this toolbar, view content. View your detail page. This is what your detail page looks like so far. Again, if you edited your detail page, you could have potentially added contact 1, contact 2, location information. Looks like this detail page added all of that information in the content block. Now, when you click on View Content, you can edit the detail page from the View Content screen. It takes you back to your form to edit. It takes you back to those original properties we started out with, so you can edit these at any time. Right now, you can switch to Inline Edit. I can change, so I can start now. Oops. I click here to make changes, so I can change any of this information. And save my changes. Now I'll move back from Inline Edit back to Viewed to get rid of pencils, and I'm going to register now to actually see my form, to try my form itself. I do recommend that you move into your form, take a look at it, test it out. You can see our breadcrumb tree here, so we have registrant, guests, moving through, billing, review, and finish. We have all information with your information, see what your form looks like, so you need to add additional information. I like the browser where I'm not logged in, so I can see it without my admin icons and toolbar. Just make sure my spacing looks okay, just to see how my students are actually going to see my form. I'm going to move against your form. I do recommend doing that. Close. Is under Events. You can click on or under Manage Form. Let's say your event has gone live. You can go to Form Reporting right here to see any of the reporting for this form. Now, with individual event, you will have canned reports available. Get a registration report. This tells you everyone that has registered for your event, gives you their name, email address, class year, I believe, and whether or not they're a guest of someone. It also gives you a report, so it gives you 1 page per person and which activities they registered for. So if you needed to print out 1 page per person, packets for anyone attending your overall event, you could do that with your itinerary report. You could print out a commerce item report, or excuse me, just get a commerce item report. Shows you each commerce item that has been sold. Name badge report. Now with all of these reports, we give you many ways to download them. PDF, Word, Excel, and so on. Badge report, we also give you a CSV option, so you can easily download the name badge report and upload into a third-party name badge maker. Create your own export. It's very user-friendly. You can walk through a streamlined process of creating your own export that will give you all the fields on your all of the fields in your event in the report. So everything that's been filled out, and you can restrict it to whatever information that you would like. We needed, I'm not sure if this group would, and there will be 2 pie charts here once you get some revenue. Top events by revenue and top events by registrations, and they move, and that makes me happy. So your top events, you can go into specific events to go into that reporting area. And registration reports for your bookkeepers, so whoever needs the reconciliation report. Reader's Digest version of events. Are there any questions?
Yeah.
Don't call me, that will work.
Our final questions, I think we have like 5 minutes. I definitely keep good job, Crystal. I know that's
Thank
only
you.
everybody to digest, right?
I know. How are your brains right now? Did anyone follow any of that?
Yeah, good question.
20 minutes.
Yes.
There's going to be a couple of templates you said that we can work from, but what if somebody has already used this template, somebody like Darren Ziller last time, he just gave me one of his event pages he already made. I copied it and made my changes. If somebody has a good event page already set up, can we take that and then copy it and make our changes instead of using a template?
Question. The only way you can copy an event is if it's been created as a template. It have to be saved as a template first for you to be able to copy it over.
But I know from how everybody functions today, for the most part, if you create one, let's say you take Darren's, right?
Yeah.
Or you do a screenshot of what you have today, and you make that one a template and create it as a template from the get-go, you're going to be fine going forward doing that copying if you want to. And I think that's how most of us function today. We usually copy something we've already done or somebody else has already done.
Okay.
But if you were, most of us have all built 1 or 2 at the beginning before we started copying them. So it's just you want to build them from scratch almost just so you understand the functionality and see what you can and can't do. Some simple ones, Hopefully, if the testing goes well this week, and then you can next week, if you have simple ones that you can set up, even if you set them up and you're not sending them out at this point, even if you set them up, it would be worthwhile starting.
Make a template to begin with, though. You can say, I've made my holiday party this year. I want to change it into a template to use for next year.
Right.
You can do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that event that I just created, let's say I've created that event. I've even run it through. My event's over. It was successful. Everyone loved my form. It was amazing. With it, I'd made some changes. Even though I used a template when I created it, I've made changes to it. I edited some things, and it looks different than the template I started with. I want to use the exact same thing next year and potentially for like 3 or 4 different events from there in content properties. All of the ability to include it on the template list. Now, I say this, there is that ability, but I want to touch base with whoever event, your primary event person is. Make sure you guys truly want that as a template, because once it's on the template list, you guys don't have the ability to edit that template list. So you do want items on that template list to reuse. Pretty sure we can do some cleanup on there for you, but you would have to call us every couple of months to clean up your template list.
Right.
Yeah, and if it is something that you do plan on using multiple times, there's no reason to recreate the wheel. Now, for your events, homecoming, reunion, the big multi-activity events, we do not recommend cloning those, because all of the items that you would have to walk through, like all of your role basing, all of the small intricate items to make sure your event will work, it would be less time to create it from scratch.
This is what I've seen events presentations, so I'm thinking once you understand what the pictures are and the right places to go, I'm comparing it to what you have today, but I think it will be faster to create things than today as we copy things. Some nuances in here that I think you'll really take advantage of.
Absolutely.
Like the things that we always do for speakers and or for special tools. So it will. Maybe it'll vary. We all work in such ways that maybe it will be faster for some of you just to create a template and use it over and over again. So.
Simple basic events. Those are the fast, easy, simple ways to do those. You know, game watch parties and gating, things like that. Super. But yeah, complex events, definitely start those from scratch. And use those more advanced features. So you can create the admin $0 fee, you know, the admin only role-based $0 fee. So you can comp a ticket, you know. The promote you can add to any of them. Now, don't forget this chart here. Tips, tricks, all are amazing. We even have benefits of using events, activities, building complex events, some time-saving tips. This is always fantastic. Again, ton of information out there. Events, that's probably the most robust feature, and we have a gray area in that feature. So it's not you're doing this, okay, X, Y, Z. You have so many options, and you can make it really what you want it to be. So I did want to touch base with the help site one more time before we wrapped it up. Help site, the training videos are out there. We are also out there for you. So if you do have any questions, make sure you touch base with your primary event admins there. And then if there's anything that they can't answer for you, they touch base with us. So application support or myself or the training department, any of us can always assist.
Great.
Questions? Okay, just before we, any other questions? I'm sure everybody's taking it before I jump off.
Yeah, absolutely. No, not from my side. I don't know what's on the phone.
Okay. All right, folks. Well, thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you, Crystal, and I will send you the list.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Kim.
Take care.
All right. Bye.
non-working number at Cornell University.